When it comes to Alien vs. Predator, I chose Aliens every single time. I have a thing for H.R. Geiger's xenomorphs, and I'll always find them infinitely more fascinating than their pulp culture counterparts. However, given that one of the most recent Alien-related shooters that released, you can guess which one, was pretty awful, I was ready to try something new. Is Ilphonic's Predator-centric asymmetrical multiplayer affair a game worthy of the Predator's attention? Or is it better to sit out on this hunt?
How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
You secure that shit, Hudson.
Find out in our review. Predator Hunting Grounds is Ilphonic's latest swing at the asymmetrical multiplayer genre. You can play as a predator yourself, as you parkour through the jungle and swoop down on unsuspecting humans to rip their spine out of their necks. Or you can play as the humans, whose goal is to complete a series of objectives. It sounds great on paper, right?
This shit's something.
Unfortunately, like with its previous effort, Friday the 13th the Game, Ilphonic has proven once again that its true expertise is pushing games out before they're quite finished cooking.
I'm reading the flatline. Keep it together, Voodoo.
Predator Hunting Grounds is a fairly bare-bones, multiplayer-only game. When you enter the menu for the first time, you only have two real choices beyond customizing your character. Play a fireteam match, or hunt your prey as the Predator. You don't have to jump in right away if you don't want to, as there's a pretty robust tutorial to take in, so you can learn the basics for each game mode. And it'll take about 15 minutes or so to complete. You can't just look it over though. Choosing tutorial launches you straight into the mode, so you'll have to wait for it to load if you've already completed it.
You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
If you choose Fireteam, you're sorted into a team of 4. It's you and your 3 teammates against a 5th player, the Predator. Across from an abysmally small selection of maps, you'll work to complete a number of objectives. This ranges from collecting intel on your AI enemies, to eradicating the remnants of drug cartels hanging out in the jungle. At one point, you even have to install tracking devices. These missions give the illusion that you're doing something engaging or useful. Clearly, the only reason the missions exist are to get you near a predator to hunt you down and murder you.
You sales out! It's all bullshit. All of it.
You'll also have to worry about AI enemies scattered throughout the environment, but they may as well be little more than moving targets. They can be down with one melee attack for the most part, and in some rare instances, 2. They'll walk out and stare right at you before even thinking about reaching for their gun to shoot you. And they'll stand right beside a live grenade without even flinching, leading to some hilarious instances where a whole group of 5 to 7 of them explode in unison. Satisfying, but wow, they're stupid. As the Predator, your only objective is to find and kill everyone. But good luck successfully finding everyone in an expedient manner, at least until you're more familiar with playing the role. Even then, it can be difficult to accomplish, which is how it should be, but that takes a bit of fun out of things too. As the Predator, you have more health, better agility, and some truly interesting abilities, like the way you can swing through trees, trap human players in nets, and pull out their spinal column. But when you take damage, you bleed, and leave a green trail. And it's pretty simple for a proficient fire team to follow you and cooperate to put you down while you're weak.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The Predator's heat vision and tactical cloaking aren't very useful when you can barely see the human players and they can see you, since cloaking is very simple to spot.
I see you.
In the end, I enjoyed playing far more as part of a fire team, simply because there's more to keep you busy. While many gamers will undoubtedly find parkouring through foliage, searching the map via infrared to find human players, and sending plasma bolts careening their way, some, like me, will likely find it a bore. Even when on the ground, slashing through players, I couldn't find the enjoyment in being the Predator. Sure, you look a lot cooler, and the idea of being the galaxy's most proficient hunter is great and all, but the game doesn't do a good job of translating this feeling when you're actually playing. To win the match as a fire team, you must complete all of your objectives and then head to the extraction location, which is quite literally get to the chopper.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
As long as one member of your team makes it onto the helicopter, even if the rest of you die, you win the match. As the Predator, you have to kill everyone in the fire team to win. This often leads to an extremely tiring, uninteresting 15 minutes, where you end up camping as the Predator by the extraction location for a last-ditch effort to kill because you couldn't find the enemy fire team throughout the match. I thought this was just me and that I wasn't good at playing the Predator, until I noticed others doing this, likely as a strategy. It isn't very fun either way, and leads to some cheaply lost matches. This, however, really depends on the skill level of the person who's playing, understanding the mechanics of the Predator, and taking full advantage of them.
I'm coming! Mac! Mac!
There are some fun victories to chase though. Nothing beats the rush you feel when you're up against 5 to 10 enemies, with no teammates left on the field, no grenades or health, and a minuscule amount of ammo, and still grab the rope to the chopper in time. It was my finest hour, and that's all it takes to feel a sense of accomplishment that gets you to keep playing, even when the rest of the game feels lackluster. When these things happened, I wanted to push on, which made the disappointing content throughout the rest of the game feel much more frustrating. Similarly, when I was able to secure a few victories as the Predator, I felt as though I had accomplished something when I kept downing the entire team with my bow, my launcher, and claws. It was a satisfying moment since I had spent most of the match up in the trees, waiting for the exact moment to engage. Unfortunately, there's just much more action and enjoyment to be had playing as the fire team.
Dylan! You son of a bitch!
Aside from my issues with the game itself, I was plagued by several bugs as well. At one point, subtitles became overlaid on top of each other and shook while characters spoke. During a different game at the end of the match, when the Predator self-destructed, I suddenly found myself blown away by the blast radius and trapped beneath the ground. During one rare occasion, the textures on a few of the AI enemies remained muddy throughout the entire match.
It's a real nasty habit you got there.
Character customization, while available, leaves much to be desired. In terms of aesthetics, you can opt to play as a male or female soldier, though the skin, face, body, and hair options are frankly basic and atrocious. You can choose between a male or female Predator as well. And it may sound bizarre, but honestly, the female Predator looked more attractive to me as a female player than the human option. I opted for the male character instead, for fireteam purposes.
Never knew how much I missed this, Dutch. You never were that smart.
There are a decent amount of customization options, but they run from olive drab to tan and all boring colors in between. There are some fun designs like red or blue tiger print or particular fun bloody print that I had to adopt immediately, but most shaders are pretty boring. Luckily, the game makes up for some of these more boring options by giving you fun cowboy hats and gas mask to liven up your look. There's also a fun skin where your fireteam member can go sleeveless, unlocked at level 100, complete with a Predator tattoo, which looks pretty rad.
Thanks.
Anytime.
You can earn these customizations by winning matches and opening up field lockers, the game's version of loot boxes, which contain 3 items apiece. They cost 500 Vertanium, which is the in-game currency you can earn in matches. So yes, there are loot crates, but there's no way to spend real money on anything here. If you buy a field locker, you may also get duplicates, which is annoying. But you do get a small amount of currency back if you happen to get something you already have, to soften the blow a bit.
He's busted up pretty bad, Major.
I can make it. I can make it.
Get the radio, forget the rest.
Here's the thing, and it may not make sense. Despite of all my complaints, I still enjoyed myself for the most part. Predator Hunting Grounds isn't an awful game, it's an unfinished one. Beneath the glaring issues and frustrations, it's actually quite fun. I didn't dislike my time with it and looked forward to playing it for review, but as it stands, there are too many problems preventing me from wholeheartedly recommending it. It seems to suffer from many of the same launch and ongoing issues that plagued Friday the 13th, the game. But there is a silver lining here, should the issues I lined out be addressed and improved with future updates, and additional maps and objectives rolled out over time. This could indeed be shaped into an exciting prospect. In its current state, however, it's best left to hardcore Predator fans insistent upon adding any related media to their collection. For more reviews and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com.
Come on, come on. Kill me, I'm here, kill me! I'm here, kill me! Come on, kill me, I'm here! Come on, do it now!